Jackie with Famished Farm. How are you all? It is in the evening, early evening, and it's the last day before it's going to turn hot. So we're around 80 today. Beautiful sunny day. This is 12 days late. I was going to do this on June, or as close to June 1st as I could. And then I had the little ladder incident on our carport where I fell coming down and kind of messed up my foot and my right side. And guys, be very careful with your extension ladders. Have somebody hold it, especially if you're old like we are. My husband was really beating himself up because he was sitting right behind where I was and he was kind of tired, and so he feels bad. I felt really bad. But anyway, and then we had the last couple of days, we've been back and forth over in Decatur. We had one of Rod's cousins passed away, and so we've spent some time with his side of the family over there, and that was just lovely and great reminiscing and sad, of course. But so here we are. We're late. In the background here, you'll see my blueberry plants, some of them, and down on the ground there are my strawberries. But anyway, let's get going. I'll show you what's going on. Okay, so this is the bed as it was when we moved in, minus the strawberries. And it came to about this first row of corn here. And it was full of wild mustard and just junk. So we composted. I didn't do the cardboard weeding in that section. I just hand weeded and kind of hoed and then tried to build up the soil where the strawberries are now. And then this side of the bed where the strawberries used to be are the ones that got the freeze. We had -6 or 7 degrees this winter, and I hadn't covered anything. Everything was still green. I didn't cover it, and we lost all of those ever-bearing berries that were on this side. So we have replanted. We've added some. We bought a homesteader pack from M.I. Gardner, and the berries that are here are beautiful. We got these at Lowe's as plants. We had 8 plants, and we've multiplied a few, but they're bearing nicely. I'll come over here and you can see here's one that I'll pick. That little guy, there's one over there that something's gotten. Here's a little guy here. We've had lots of rain, so we're getting these yucky spots. And this is my little volunteer cantaloupe. Doesn't get as much sun as the other ones. Now here is a Victoria rhubarb. That is new this year. And I always had rhubarb in Illinois. I actually had rhubarb that was like 50 years old from my grandmother, my mom's mom. And then over here, let's go ahead and pick this while we're here before the rabbits or anybody get it. But here's all of our blueberries, and they're coming. This particular bush is good. I'm afraid this one ripened early and the birds got it. And then in front here is the new blueberry I put in this year. Here's the other one. And the one back here is the one that got stunted last year because it didn't get sun. Its sister over on that side is not as bad. But this one, I guess, I don't know if I'm hitting it when I walk these aisles, but part of that one is died off. Oh, but look at in there. Look at all those. So that's a pretty good harvest for me for blueberries. This is the first time I've ever had blueberries in my yard. And then this is our Three Sisters plot. And I think I am not real happy with, remember I waited until the corn was a foot high. This little pole bean here is got something nibbling on it. But look at these around the corner. These look great, but they're kind of behind. And I hope they catch up. There's one down there that just needs to be kind of trained over to the corn. Here's one of our cantaloupes, and you'll notice I've got a board back there with my fruit sitting on it. So this is the really big cantaloupe. Look at fruit there, fruit back there, 3 big fruits over there, and I put pieces of wood down. Here's this vine. That bean, maybe he'll find a way to grow up. But yeah, so those cantaloupes are doing nicely. You'll remember I wanted to have 4 rows of corn, and I've really only got 2.5. So this end of the Three Sisters plot is not doing great. Now these 2 crimson melon are starting to run, and there is a couple little sprouts of corn there. Nothing came up down on this end. This is a pumpkin I just planted today that needs some water and some TLC, but I don't know about this corn. I don't know if it's going to germinate. Oh, look, I do have a tassel coming. Look, we were driving by a bunch of cornfields today and they were all tasseled out. So, yep, look, my first sweet corn. Anyway, this is probably herbicide drift. It is what it is. But look at my cabbage. This one's got a head started, so maybe we'll get another cabbage. That one went to flower real early. Back here are my San Marzanos. We've already got some nice fruits coming. And then I've got a couple bromas back in here. This is one of my from seed. That one, I'm not sure. One of these I think is from, one of those is from seed, and one of it is a start I bought at the farmer's market. And a poor little lettuce that is grown from seed. And then this is peppers. My peppers all look stunted, not doing great. Here's another Roma with some pole beans behind, and this is a snap. I've got some on there that could come off. That's a contender, bush beans, and I didn't have very good germination on that. Some more aromas with a big red to the back there that I'm going to trellis up this way. And then this is my peanut bed. I planted this whole thing with peanuts and only 5 of them came up. So we'll see what happens. My nasturtiums are kind of yellowy. Look at that nasturtium. Let's check our water. Ooh, it's real wet. So maybe that one's getting too much water. So when all the peanuts didn't come up, I threw some carrots in down here. And only a couple of those have come up. But I put another acorn squash in here, which will take over everything. But I'd love some more acorn squash. And then to the back here, we have a zucchini. And my peas have been struggling the entire year. They probably will be done pretty quick. But I wanted them to trellis up over, like my nice pole beans back there, up and over the trellis. And they are up about 2 feet. And then this is my bed with my volunteer cherry tomatoes with black beans on the side. And the black beans, you can see, this is my first time. Oh, you know what? This may be kidney beans. Nope, I think this is black beans. But I'm getting plenty of beans. I'm gonna just dry those. This bare spot here is quinoa that never came up. What would you plant there? Marigold, tomatoes, black beans, empty spot. Maybe some more bush beans. Look at this. Lots of these are falling off. Or maybe not. Oh, there's a couple that fell off. Look at all those blooms. Back here, I've already been picking cucumbers, and they're trellising up very nicely. I've got a couple dill and a basil hidden back here. Here's a tomatilla with a matching tomatilla there. And then a big zucchini coming on, kind of spilling into the walkway here. But, oh, back to these cherry tomatoes. This was the year that I was going to string train. I've never tried that before. And I just didn't get them pruned soon enough. So I've got at least I think I've got 2 stems on one, or I pruned it down to 2 stems. And then this front one, this one with all these beautiful flowers and lots of tomatoes, that was, there's three leads coming up on that one. So I'm still going to try to prune that judiciously, but we'll see what happens. Okay, then the last raised bed over here, we've got our nasturtium planters. This one's kind of yellowy. This one's not quite so much, but we've got carrots in the front. We've got kidney beans in the middle that are beautiful, and they are producing lots of pods. And then we have an acorn squash. This is my first time growing kidney beans and acorn squash, and I've got a couple. See them? I put that piece of wood down holding 3 acorn squash. Here's a beautiful headed lettuce that I can harvest anytime. And then some more pole beans down on this end. And I did plant a beefsteak tomato down there that never came up. And that one I just tried from seed. I've never tried that before. I've always started them. But that didn't come up. So my bales I'm not real happy with. I'm going to come around this way. This is underneath my trellis, but look at all this empty space in this couple of bales. Nice dill coming. Hope we get some caterpillars on there. All my dill's sacrificial. I want to have beautiful butterflies. Okay, then over here, that's an elderberry, and he needs a drink. Got a little bit of water left here. And I planted a couple strawberries from that contract or the homesteader pack back here under my trellis that doesn't have very much trellis on it yet is where I planted the MI Gardener, some of the strawberries, and I bought 4 raspberry plants, and this is in part to take the place of the raspberries that I already lost to that herbicide drift. And then while we're back here, look at all my cucumbers. Look at those cucumbers. We've been picking those already. We have salads every day for lunch, so. But I planted raspberries and strawberries. And here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strawberries that didn't come up. And then that's the elderberry, not getting enough water. But the raspberries look fantastic. Here is our one nicely trellising. Look at that sun on that tree back there. That's a sweet gum. Lots of room for improvement. Lots of bare spaces that shouldn't be. But these were my stunted peppers. Something's munching on this one. Look at that little guy. And that nasturtium is not getting enough water. Come on, big boy, big red. It'd be a miracle if I get slicers from that. Here's my peas. That's waist high, but of course they're on a bale of straw, so just not great. I expected lots more from those peas. But I will have cucumbers. Here's the basil coming up beside this cucumber. The basil smells delicious. So that's the garden this year. It's small but growing, and I really think it's growing beautifully despite the empty spots and the trellises that aren't full. I'm gonna have cherry tomatoes again if nothing else. But it's beautiful and I love it. I love the little bird bath. And I like my birdhouse back there. That's a birdhouse I made years and years ago when we were in Orlando. And always room for improvement and to make changes. So guys, thanks for being here. We will check back in with you in a few weeks and try to get you a closer to July 1st garden tour, and we'll see what's coming on and what we're harvesting. So far, berries, blueberries, cucumbers. I think that's basically all, and it looks like I better get on the beans because they're coming in too. So thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.